occurring, largest faced by all carriers, are vehicle accident claims and litigation. Litigations. When I talk to drivers today, I don't want to scare them or nothing, but I tell them that attorneys, they're not just stopping at the trucking companies anymore. They're going after the drivers now. And I know you don't want to say that to your driver, okay? But it's what it's leading to, okay? I'll give you a prime example. It's real simple. The Walmart driver with Tracy Morgan, where's he right now? Walmart, right? And he's doing 8 years, 6 to 8 years. Methods of dealing with this risk. Risk avoidance, eliminating the risk. How do we eliminate the risk? We enforce the policy. Well, we make sure we have the policy in place. Okay? Risk reduction, mitigation, and controlling the risk. Risk transfer, making someone else responsible for the risk, i.e. insurance companies. Okay? Risk retention, knowingly and unknowingly accepting the risk. We don't want to accept no risk. We don't want to. Risk avoidance, not performing a risky task. Now, when they say not performing a risky task is a task avoidance, when you train your drivers, and that's why a lot of people, companies like to have me in there, I am not part of their group. They do not hear me, the same person every day, giving the same blah, blah, blah. I'm an outsider that's done their job. So when they come back to me, I can go back to them. And they respect that, and I respect that they're actually asking the question and stuff like that. Okay? But we want to avoid the risk. We want to be able to train the driver when he is by himself. He thinks that somebody's looking at him with all these cameras and everything around. So that he's always going to do the right thing. It's part of risk management. That's why you want risk management. You want risk management involved with everybody in the company. Preferred, but not always possible. Some risk is inherent of the activity that cannot be avoided. Not hiring a driver with a bad driving record is an example of risk avoidance. I deal with a lot of companies that have hard times with drivers. And it's a shame when you sit there and you talk to them, oh, that's okay, he's a felon, we can work around that. Okay, let's see what he did. But they will blatantly hire somebody that just had a ticket 6 months ago, like I said, careless driving or something like that. Risk reduction, examples of risk reduction. Hiring standards. Are we hiring the right people? Which that would be the next slide. Training programs. One of the biggest things about hiring standards and training programs is the onboarding. How do we do the orientation? Do we have a good onboarding program? Do we make the new driver feel at home when we orientate him? Okay, or do we sit him in a room with a bunch of videos and then we put him on the road the next day? Onboarding is a very big thing. In our world, we used to say we would lose them in a bucket box because they would get scared of the oxygen, nitrogen, and hydrogen. So we would spend extra time with them prior to them going into that bucket box. Okay? Lots of companies just want to teach them the Qualcomm system and let them go. Okay? And not to bash Qualcomm or not like that, but the keyboards are I don't like it. Okay. Company safety policies. Again, company safety policies. They're only as good as they are enforced. Ongoing verification of driver qualifications. I went round and around with somebody this week. It is up to the carrier to pull the driver MVR annually. It is up to the carrier to pull it. The insurance company, the brokerage should not be liable for that, because it is up to the carrier to determine if that information on MVR is correct. Okay? It is up to the carrier to pull it annually, and you don't want to see what the fine is for not doing that. Maintaining your vehicles and wearing seat belts. These are some of the things that can avoid risk. If a carrier becomes a high risk discovered through risk assessment, the insurance company will treat carriers the same as a high loss carrier. Raise premiums or drop the carrier. That's what's happening today if you are a high risk. Risk transfer, okay, is holds harmless agreement, a state, one party that will not attempt to collect damages or assign responsibilities. Now, you're starting to see this a lot in ports. Guys that go into the port picking up containers and all, you see whole harmless agreements and stuff like that, where the steamship line can come in and audit you anytime they want. Okay? Risk retention, self-insurance, use of limited self-insurance, create an ongoing captive group. These are just some of the things for risk retention. Self-insurance carrier decides to accept the risk. Decision comes with regulatory compliance requirements, risk management, official reserves. The claims handling must be up to the industry standards and can be done accidentally if not aware and planning for risk. The decision not to purchase insurance for a specific risk should be based on a realistic risk assessment and a sound risk-benefit, not cost-benefit assessment. Methods of risk avoidance and reduction. First, identify the risk area and risk concerns. Next, identify methods that will avoid or reduce your risk. Such as, if you're a carrier and you start seeing your drivers getting out of the truck the wrong way. How many times are we going to watch them get out of the truck the wrong way before we start doing some training to avoid that type of a risk? Right? Good. Exactly, because it's going to put you in workman's comp eventually. Yep. Method of risk avoidance and reduction risk area is hiring. Are we hiring unqualified drivers? Hiring an unsafe driver? Hiring a driver that leaves soon after hire? Okay? Hire a driver that does not match position. Exactly what Ken was saying earlier. A lot of drivers will be laying in their sleeper. They had a bad load. They had a frustrated day. They want to look for another job. They log onto their laptop or their iPad right there in the sleeper of the truck, and they start looking for a job. Is that the guy you want? Okay, so watch your hiring practice. See, you have a lot of job jumpers right now because of the bonus, stuff like that. Use a hiring standard. No Class A violations. Okay? You may want to call me or my partner Hugo or Ed and say, hey, what do you think about this guy? Can you take a look at this MVR? Okay? Apply the position, job description, the hiring process. Use standards and interview of screening process. The biggest thing I see now is that when you do interviews, use the same questions with each applicant. Don't use different questions. When you take them on a road test, use the exact same road test. I know a company that took two people on a road test. One went, for instance, one went right outside the gate, one went left outside the gate. The guy that went left didn't pass the road test. came back on a lawsuit because he was not given the same test as the other guy. Okay? These are the things that we do as risk management. We look at stuff like this. I know we're getting short on time. We're almost done. Okay. Every best practice skip or standard loads increase the risk involved with the new drivers. If you're gonna have developed a driver trainer program, make sure that driver trainer knows what he's doing. Not necessarily your senior driver. Sometimes ain't the best driver trainer. Okay? But teach him not to skip steps when training somebody. Okay? Hire only safe qualified drivers using standards. Am I going backwards here? Yeah. Transportation is an inherent risky business. Risk management is required for all carriers. You got to have a good risk management person. Lack of risk management will lead to risk becoming losses. High risk carriers do not survive very long. An accident happened, attitude shows a large appetite for risk. When I was with that, this is my last slide, I'm about done. I will never forget this quote. Wolfgang Ritzel, he was actually the CEO one time of BMW when they were in trouble. He came to Lindy. And North America was the cash cow of the company. We were making the most money for the company, so of course we had the most risk. But he looked at one of our CEOs to the face, right in the face, and he made this statement. If you can't manage safety, you shouldn't be a manager. Because there's nothing more important than that lady or gentleman going home to their children. So if you can't manage safety and you don't want to have risk management in your company, you shouldn't be doing it. Okay? Does anybody have any questions on anything? Really? No, Jeff caught me with my golfing shirt on, so. Okay, it was a pleasure. I appreciate it. You got cameras if you need us.
All right, guys, we're going to break for lunch. That was a lot. I know it was a lot of good stuff today. A lot of you are more experienced and know a lot about this stuff already. A lot of you might have taken a lot away from this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the PowerPoints, I'm going to put them together. I'll email them to everyone with everyone's contact information. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors, Becker Legal, RPS, and Progressive, and Ontrax for your support in making this event possible. And any questions, feel free to email me or anyone that you know from Assure Partners, and we'll put you in contact with everyone else to make sure you guys are successful.
For the copy of the PDF for the presentation, if you haven't received an email from us, please see Daisy up front. She'll push in the list and you'll receive a copy. Also, some feedback would be great because we're going to put another event and we want to have some more information that maybe we can go over today. And first 10 feedback will receive a special gift. So.
And lunch will be back there, guys, and enjoy yourselves. Thank you.
It's behind that wall where Heather was
Chairman, I've been doing this a long time.
Eventually, used to just have my own tag. I used to go
Tell me you should work with John. That's the
One does approach this challenge.
I tell him, man.
Have fun there, Chris.
I don't mind
You call me direct. Yeah, I'm the VP of the
Hey, how you doing? Good to see
I updated like a yesterday, so we're in line right now. So this is everything I just turned it over. I just don't
I just can't.
I sent you that, yeah, there's more to that. There's some videos. video.
Just like
You
leasing it for us.
guys see the video. I got some trip hop coming down to the
You setting up the.
Yeah, we're setting up the Ryder Penske over, and then I bring in insurance company, fuel company, all the way in. Once I get it.
This guy was I don't know. This is the highway, this is John. This is John. This guy is gonna come from this side, it's the black.
Ryder out of Cherry Hill and
Watch
around.
this, this is John.
I don't want to.
Black vehicle.
We were with Penske down in,
Watch what he does.
out of Newcastle, Pennsylvania, also down in Orlando, we were fitting.
Called the cops, said it was.
And they got the Ryder, I don't know why, Ryder kept trying to come in.
See it? See this? Yeah, I know, I watched this, and you see better on the big screen, when he actually crosses the traffic, and he has his house, and he'll fight him. Exactly, I'm just doing it. So I called the trooper yesterday, and you guys are right, and I gotta watch it.
This is, Mike's,
This guy had a lot of. Watch where he comes. He's crossing the solid wall. I told the trooper, Johnny said, no. They weren't. The guy who was told when he hit the white guy did his. So I said, I said this, I called the trooper.
You can't accuse of doing your late as a
Exactly, exactly.
Food, that's
We have no idea what the company is.
No, I didn't get it before yet.
I didn't know how many cars I could
could
survive and be able to function separately. Hey, great job, Bob.
You gotta have him take you to this unbelievable
So, do you see that?
It's delicate. Upside down, sorry. Bellies are big. Absolutely. We got it all on tape.
Oh, see, that was smart. You got the broccoli too.
Yes, just as a,
I have just.
Hey, Elby, did you stop the video?
I have tomorrow.
thanks.
Eagle has that funeral tomorrow.
So what do you work out? I work out of my home. Oh, good. Yeah, so I'm home 1 day a week, so that's that. And then you hit the road over? Yeah, I'm on the road 40.